lesson, not for discussion. We play with drums like shit is percussion. Stay with a hammer like this is construction. Drink too much Henny, might shoot up.
What's good to Mascot? We back out with another video. Today's video we have the top 3 best center builds as of patch 10 in NBA 2K20. Now before we get into that, man, I just want to say, like I said in my last video, as soon as I get some time to sit down and actually make one of these videos, I was going to pump one of these out. And also I do want to say, make sure you guys do hit that like button, subscribe, because these videos do take a long time to make. So if you can hit that like button, subscribe, show your appreciation, because I'm making this sort of content for you guys, man. Just want to throw that out there. And also I do want to say thank you guys so much for 13k subs. We just hit 13k subs pretty much yesterday. We're getting closer and closer to my next big sub goal, which is 20k subs. One last thing before we get into the video. If anybody wants to go in my comment section and make a timestamp comment, I'll pin your comment. But now we're gonna get straight into the video, man. So the very first build is gonna be the interior force. This build is gonna be able to get 61 badges, and all these builds are gonna be centers. So make sure you guys make this build a center, and this other stuff does not matter. That's personal preference. Now moving on to skill breakdown with this build. There's 2 pie charts I'm aware of, or actually I think 3 pie charts you can use to make this build. Either the all finishing, the finishing and shooting, and I think you can even pick the all defense pie chart to make the interior force. But today we are going to be picking all finishing, so make sure you guys pick this pie chart. Now moving on to physical profile of this build, I would recommend that you pick balanced pie chart. You want to have strength with this build, your center, but you don't want to be lacking in speed and vertical. Now I know some people, when they these ones because they have max strength, but this one you're lacking in speed, and this one you're lacking in vertical. You can't afford to lack in either of those stats, so I recommend you pick balanced pie chart. Still got good speed, you got good vertical, and your strength still 95. I recommend you pick this pie chart. Now moving on to attributes, man, make sure you guys do it just like this. You get 61 badges. You are going to max out your close shot. Your driving layup, you're going to put this up +1 to a 55. Your driving dunk, you are going to max this out. Your standing dunk, also max that out. And your post hook, also max that out as well to a 95. Now shooting, you aren't going to upgrade any shooting. Now moving on to playmaking, you're going to max out your pass accuracy and also max out your post moves to get 18 playmaking badges. Now moving on to defense, you're going to max out your interior defense. Perimeter defense, you are going to put this to a 40. Your lateral quickness, you're going to max this out. Your steal, you're going to put this to a 50, just like that. And you're going to max out these last 3 stats. So max out your block, offensive rebound, and of course the defensive rebounding, so you get them 61 badges. And you guys can see, here's the build. You get 28 finishing, 1 shooting, 18 playmaking, and 14 defensive and rebounding. You can add that up. That's a total of 61 badges for this interior force build. That is an insane amount of badges for any center build. If you did not know, the max amount of badges I personally seen for a center build is 62, and this build gets 1 off of the max. So 61 badges, this build is very good. But now moving on to this other stuff, man, body shape does not matter, but just since it's a center, I'm gonna pick built or burly. But like I said in every single one of my videos, you want to make your player defined, solid, compact. It does not matter whatsoever. However you want your player to look, go ahead and do that. Me personally, I'm gonna just pick built. Now moving on to height with this build, honestly, I know it's a center and it's gonna be a reoccurring thing. I'm gonna keep saying this with every build. I don't recommend making the build 7'3". You're not gonna be able to get contact dunks and you're super slow. I personally recommend you make the build 6'10", because you still have really good driving dunk. You have an 89 driving dunk. You're gonna be able to get all 4 contact dunks off rip. Gonna be a very nice player. And the tallest I would go is 6'11". The reason why I'm saying 6'11", because you have an 84 driving dunk, you'll be able to get the pro and big man contact dunks off rip. As soon as you hit like 96 or 97 overall, you get a +1 to your driving dunk. So you'll be able to get every single contact dunk with the 6'11". I would either go 6'10" or 6'11". I recommend you make the build 6'10", but if you want to be taller, go 6'11" at the absolute tallest. But I'm recommending you do 6'10". Now moving on to the weight with this build, here's a very key thing. Now, if you make the weight any smaller than 270, I'm pretty sure it's gonna have your name as an interior finisher. But if it's 270 or higher, it's gonna have your name as interior force. Me personally, I like having my name as interior force. But just that name force, it sounds like a demon to me. So I'll make the build 270. You can even go max if you really want to, but I'm recommending you make the build 270. Just so you have good strength, you still got 60 acceleration, you have great interior defense. That's what I recommend you do personally. Now moving on to the wingspan of this build, you're an inside center. You want to have max wingspan so you can play better defense. It's really that simple. You want max wingspan. Now moving on to takeovers, man, it's either post score or rim protector. You want post score so you can have some better post game. Hey, that's a pretty good takeover. Go ahead and do that. But I personally recommend you do rim protector to help you play better defense on other centers. That's what I'm recommending you do. You want post score, go ahead and do that though. And you guys can see, here's the build. You have built an interior force similar to Bill Russell, Andre Drummond, and Jarrett Allen. Very solid build, 61 badges. But now we're gonna get straight into the best badges for this build, man. We're gonna get this out the way. Top 3 best build video. I'm trying to make everything as fast as possible. Let's put this to 99 overall real quick. Now, like I said earlier in the video, with the 610, you're gonna be able to get every single contact dunk off rip. So keep that in mind. You want a Hall of Fame contact finish so you get contact dunks, obviously. Now, if you made the player 6'10" like me, I recommend you throw on Giant Slayer Hall of Fame. It's going to activate when you go up against anybody that's 7'3" or taller. Now, if you made the build 6'11", you don't need Giant Slayer, so just keep that in mind. You made it 6'10", throw on Giant Slayer. Now you got 20 upgrades left, 5 more Hall of Fames. I recommend Slithery Finisher Hall of Fame to help you drive a lot better. I also recommend Lob City Finisher Hall of Fame. You have almost a 90 driving dunk. When you hit 99, you're gonna have like a 93 driving dunk. This badge is going to be very nice. People are going to be throwing you alley-oops. Trust me, it's going to be very nice. I also recommend throw on Fancy Forward to help you drive a lot better, do some hop steps, stuff like that. Now you got 2 Hall of Fame badges left. I'm going to throw on Relentless Finisher Hall of Fame as well. Now, with only 1 Hall of Fame badge left, I'm going to recommend throwing Hall of Fame deep hooks. Keep in mind, your post hook is like a 95. This badge is to help you post hook from very deep. It's going to be a very nice badge. I highly recommend throw that badge on. I think it's going to be the best finishing badge, but you can change it up, do whatever you want to do. Now, moving on to shooting badges, man. You got 1 shooting badge. I personally recommend you just throw on Slippery Off Ball. None of these badges are going to benefit you because we didn't upgrade any shooting badges, so that's what I'm recommending you do. Now, moving on to playmaking badges, man. 18 playmaking badges. I recommend you throw on Dream Shake, Gold, Break Starter, Quick First Step, Post Spin Technician. I'm going to say Gold Bailout, and Gold Unpluckable. I think it's going to be the best playmaking badges. You got so many playmaking badges. You can really change it up. You want Flashy Pass or Lob City, go ahead and do that, but I think personally these are going to be the best playmaking badges for this build. Now moving on to defensive badges, you got 14 defensive badges. You want Gold Brick Wall, you're going to be sending screens this build, obviously you need that badge. I also recommend Gold Intimidator to help people miss shots. I also recommend you throw on Rebound Chaser Gold. Yeah, pretty good rebounding. You want to be able to snag it out there. You got to have this badge on. Now with 5 upgrades left, I personally recommend you throw on Post Move Lockdown with the inside center build. If you're going up against anybody that's like 7 foot or taller and they're a post scorer, you're gonna need this badge to play defense on them. It's gonna be very nice. Make sure you guys throw on Post Move Lockdown. Now with only 2 upgrades left, I would either go Pogo Stick or Clamps. I think I'm gonna do Clamps though. You do have pretty high lateral quickness, and whenever you get matched up against a guard, you'll be able to clamp them with this Clamps badge. This is what I'm gonna recommend you do for defensive badges, but you can change it up, do whatever you want to do, like I said in every single one of my videos. But that's build number 1, man. Let's get straight into build number 2 of this video. Alright, man, moving on to build number 2. This is going to be the 2-way playmaker or the glass cleaning lockdown, however you decide to make it. But you're going to make it a center, and this other stuff does not matter, it's personal preference. I also forgot to say, this build is going to be able to get 55 badges, so keep that in mind. Now, it's a 2-way playmaker or glass cleaning lock, depending how you make it. The pie chart we're going to be using for this build is going to be this defensive playmaking. This build is going to be able to get Hall of Fame Dimer and Hall of Fame Floor General and very good defense and pretty good finishing. It's going to be a very solid build. Pick this pie chart. Now, moving on to physical profile of this build, I would only pick balanced pie chart. You're going to be an inside center. You want to have high strength, but don't pick the second or third one. This one you're lacking in vertical, and this one you're lacking in speed. You can't afford to lack in either of those stats, so I recommend you pick balanced pie chart. Now moving on to attributes, man. Make sure you guys do it exactly like this so you get the maximum badges possible. You are going to max out your close shot, also max out your driving layup, also max out your driving dunk and your standing dunk. You're going to max this out as well to an 89 just like that. And your post hook, you're going to put this to a 41 so you get 12 finishing badges. Now this build, you're not going to touch shooting, so just keep that in mind. Now moving on to playmaking, you're going to max out your pass accuracy and also max out your post move so you get 17 playmaking badges. Now moving on to defense, you're going to max out your interior defense, your perimeter defense. You're going to put this to a 55 just like that. Your lateral quickness, you are going to max this out to a 54. Your steal, you're going to put this to a 60. I think that's 1 point off a max. Yep, 1 point off a max. And these last 3 stats, you're going to max them out. So max out your block, max out your offensive rebound, and of course, max out your defensive rebounding. And you guys can see, here's the build. You got 12 finishing, 1 shooting, 17 playmaking, and 25 defensive and rebounding. You can add that up. That's a total of 55 badges for this 2-way playmaker or glass cleaning lock build. Pretty solid amount of badges. You're going to have pretty good finishing, Hall of Fame playmaking badges, and really good defense. This is going to be a very solid inside center build. Very nice. Now moving on to this other stuff, man. Body shape does not matter. I think just since it's an inside center, I'm going to pick burly or built. Like I say with every single one of my builds, you want to make your player slight, compact, defined, solid. It does not matter whatsoever. However you want your player to look, go ahead and do that. Me personally, I'm going to just pick built. Now moving on to how with this build, Here's why I was saying it could either be a two-way playmaker or a glass cleaning lockdown. Now with this build, you really could go 7'3", and it's going to be a glass cleaning lockdown if you do that. But again, I really don't recommend you make the build 7'3", because look at your speed, 44 speed, 30 something vertical. Your lateral quickness is terrible. Your driving dunk is bad. If you really want to go 7'3", I mean, go ahead. But I personally recommend you make the build 6'11". You have better driving dunk, your lateral quickness and stuff like that is 10 times better. And this build would be called a two-way playmaker. But if you really want to make the build 7'3", go ahead and do that. But I personally recommend you make the build 6'11". Now moving on to weight with this build, you can honestly max this weight all the way out to 285 pounds. You want that max strength. Now the reason why I'm not going to do that is because look at the lateral quickness. It's a 59. I don't want my lateral quickness below a 60. So you can really go like 280, but I'm going to make the build 270 because I don't want to be super heavy with this build. That's what I'm recommending you do personally though. Now moving on to the wingspan of this build. Again, you want to max your wingspan out. You're an inside center. You have no benefit of lowering it, so you want to max it out for the better defense, of course, and you snag more rebounds. Pretty simple. Now moving on to takeovers, man. You get a wide variety of takeover options here. Rim protector, glass cleaner, or playmaker. Now, honestly, I really don't recommend picking playmaker. The option's there. If you really want to pick playmaker with this build, you could really do it. I'm not saying it's bad, but I personally recommend you pick rim protector or glass cleaner. I think personally, I'm going to pick glass cleaner, but you want rim protector or playmaker, go ahead and do that. I'm going to just pick glass cleaner. And you guys can see, here's the build. You have built a two-way playmaker similar to Ben Wallace, Andre Drummond, and Hassan Whiteside. Build name's kind of odd here. Two-way playmaker. Me personally, when I think of that name, I think of like a guard, you know, a defensive playmaker, a guard, not a center. But yeah, it's still a pretty good build. 55 badges. But now to get straight into the best badges for this build, just like I do in every single one of my videos, we'll get this straight out of the way. Put this to 99 overall real quick. We ain't wasting no time here. Put it to 99 overall, just like we usually do. Now you got 12 finishing badges. You're gonna have some pretty good finishing. I recommend throw on gold contact finisher. Giant Slayer, you don't need Giant Slayer because you are 6'11". It's not gonna activate at all, so you don't need that badge. I also recommend throw on Slither Finisher Hall of Fame if you're driving to help you drive a lot better. I personally recommend throw on Lob City Finisher Gold. You do have like a 73 driving dunk. No contact dunks or nothing, but you have decent driving dunk to catch some alley-oops, so I recommend you do that as well. Last badge, I think I'm going to do consistent finisher, especially if you're bad at timing your layups. This badge will help you make shots that are poorly released layups. Now, if you want back down punch or drop stepper, some type of post score badge, you can go ahead and do that. It's up to you, but I think this is what I'm going to do personally. Now, moving on to shooting badges, no shooting. We didn't upgrade one shooting stat. So just throw on slippery off ball and other badges would benefit you. So that's what I'm recommending you do. Now moving on to playmaking badges, man. 17 playmaking badges. You can actually get Hall of Fame playmaking badges with this build. 2 badges you gotta have, regardless of anything. You gotta have Hall of Fame Dimer and Hall of Fame Floor General. Those badges are gonna benefit your teammates so much. Floor General is gonna give your teammates a +4 to all their offensive attributes, and Dimer, it's gonna help boost your shot percentage whenever you hit an open teammate. It's gonna be very nice. You need those 2 badges, Hall of Fame. Now if you're playing threes, I also recommend throwing Hall of Fame Break Starter. Now Bailout, I do recommend throw his badge on. I'm actually going to throw his badge on bronze. Now, even this badge just being bronze, this is actually a very nice badge. I highly recommend throw that badge on. Now with this last Hall of Fame badge, if you want a post scoring badge, you can throw on Postman Technician, but I'm going to recommend throwing Hall of Fame Quick First Step. This badge is going to be very nice on your center. Trust me, center, so much nicer. This is what I recommend you do for playmaking badges, but you can change it up, do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you have Floor General and Dimer on. That's the whole point of this build. You got to have those 2 badges on. Now moving on to defensive badges. 25 defensive badges. This build gets a ton of defensive badges. Now you want Hall of Fame Brick Wall. You're going to be sending screens this build, obviously. I also recommend Hall of Fame Intimidator to make people miss shots. I also recommend Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser to help you snag. Just like I stated in my last build, I recommend throwing Post Move Lockdown Hall of Fame. If you go up against any post scorer, you're gonna need this badge to defend the post scores. You need this badge, trust me. Now you got 2 Hall of Fame badges left. I personally recommend Hall of Fame Rim Protector. You do have a pretty high block. I think it's like a 91. This badge will help you block more shots. Now with 1 Hall of Fame badge left, you can go a couple different ways. You can either go clamps or pogo stick or even moving truck or something like that. I think personally, I'm gonna do clamps Hall of Fame. You have pretty good lateral quickness and good perimeter defense. You're gonna be able to switch and clamp that opposing guard. It's gonna be pretty nice. Now 1 badge left. I think I'm gonna recommend you do interceptor. Again, your steal is pretty high. You have very long wingspan. This badge will help you catch more interceptions. This is what I'm recommending you do personally though. But that's build number 2, man. Let's get straight into the final build of this video. Moving on to the final build of this video, this is going to be the shooting center. Of course, I had to give you guys a shooting center build. I couldn't leave you out on that. This build is going to be called the glass cleaning lockdown, and it's going to be able to get 50 badges, make it a center, and this other stuff does not matter. It's personal preference. Now moving on to skill breakdown, man. You're making a shooting center. There are a couple pie charts you're picking, but today we are going to be picking the defense and shooting pie chart. You're going to have great defense, good shooting, and pretty good finishing. Make sure you guys pick this pie chart. Now moving on to physical profile with this build. Again, I recommend picking a pie chart that has strength in it, but I don't recommend picking either of these pie charts. This one you're lacking in speed, this one you're lacking in vertical. You can't afford to lack in either of those stats, so I recommend you pick balanced pie chart. You have great speed, good vertical, good acceleration, and you got good strength, so I recommend you pick balanced pie chart. Now moving on to attributes, man, make sure you guys do it just like this to get the maximum badges possible. You are going to max out your close shot to an 84. Your driving layup, you're going to put this to a 48, just like that. Your driving dunk, you are going to max this out. And your standing dunk and post hook, you're going to max out both of those. So max out your standing dunk, or actually no, put your standing dunk to a 84, which is 1 point off of the max. And you're going to max out your post hook to a 73, just like that. So you get 12 finishing badges. Now moving on to shooting, you're going to max out your mid-range shot, also max out your 3-point shot, and your free throw, you're going to put this to a 76, just like that. And your post fade, you're going to max this out so you get 17 shooting badges. Now moving on to playmaking, you're not going to touch any playmaking stats in this build, so keep that in mind. Now defense, you're going to max out your interior defense, and you're going to max out your block and both your rebounding, so offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding, just like that. Put these to that max, just like that. And as you can see, here's the build. You get 12 finishing, 17 shooting, 1 playmaking, and 20 defensive and rebounding. You can add that up. That's a total of 50 badges for this glass cleaning lock build. Now this build is a little bit different from traditional center builds. Most traditional shooting center builds usually have more defense and less finishing, but I found out a way to get more finishing badges this build. So this build is pretty balanced. It still has great defense and good shooting, but this build has very nice finishing, so you're not lacking in that stat. Now moving on to this other stuff, man, body shit does not matter. I think just into the center, I'm gonna pick built or burly. Like I said in every single one of my builds, you want to make your player slight, compact, whatever. It doesn't matter whatsoever. However you want your player to look, go ahead and do that. Me personally, I'm just recommend build. Now the height with this build, again, it's the shooting center. If you really want to go 7'3", but I personally don't recommend doing that. You're too slow and your shooting goes down. I personally recommend you make the build 6'11". You have boost on your speed, acceleration, and your shooting. I recommend you do 6'11", but like I said, you really want to make the build 7'3". I mean, go ahead, but 6'11" is going to be the best height possible. Now moving on to weight with this build, I recommend you put the weight up. You don't have to max it out. I know some people are not going to want to do that. I would put the weight to like 260, so you have some 87 strength. Now, like I said, you want that max strength, max the weight out, but I think it's going to be a good balance, so you're not insanely slow, but you are still pretty strong. Now, moving on to the wingspan of this build, I know it's a shooting center, but you are going to want to pretty much max it out. Now, take a look at your 3-point shot. It's a 69. I don't like my 3-pointer being a 69. I want it to be at least a 70. So all you got to do is put your wingspan one below the max, which is a 92. And you guys see, 3-pointer goes to a 70. That's what I'm recommending you do personally, but if you don't really care about that, you're still going to be able to shoot with a 69 3-pointer, but I just think 70 looks better. You don't care about that though, just max out your wingspan, but I'm recommending you put your wingspan to a 92. Moving on to take risks, man, it's either rim protector or glass cleaner. With this build, a shooting center, I think I'm gonna recommend you do rim protector, but if you want glass cleaner, go ahead, it's not a bad option. I would personally recommend you do rim protector. And you guys can see, here's the build. You have built a glass cleaning lockdown similar to Hassan Whiteside, Mitchell Robinson, and Jonas Valanciunas. 50 badges for this glass cleaning lockdown build. Now we're gonna get straight to the best badge for this build, man. Just like I do in every single one of my builds, we can get this straight out the way. The final build, man, put this to 99 overall real quick. Now you got 12 finishing badges. I recommend you do gold contact finisher. I'm also gonna recommend you do consistent finisher gold. I would say lob city finisher this build, but this build doesn't really have a high driving dunk, so you're not gonna be able to catch lobs that good, honestly. So I think I'm gonna recommend you do slithery finisher as well to help you drive a lot better. Now with only one badge left, there's a couple different ways you can go with this. You can do whatever you want to do with this, honestly. I think I'm going to just do relentless finisher. There's plenty of good badges, so if you don't like that, you can change it up, do whatever you want to do. Now moving on to shooting badges, man, 17 shooting badges. The badge you need off the bat, Hall of Fame quick draw. You don't have this badge on, you're not going to be able to shoot. It's really that simple. You need that badge on. Now rain extender, I recommend you throw this badge at least gold. Since you got the extra upgrades, you might as well do Hall of Fame. Now 9 upgrades left. You need Hall of Fame Hot Zone Hunter. You have all your Hot Zones badges help you shoot 10 times better. I also recommend Green Machine Hall of Fame. Again, It's gonna help you shoot greens 10 times more greens. It's gonna be very nice. Now you got one bronze badge left. Personally, I would either do catch and shoot or deadeye. With this build, you're gonna be spawning up more than creating your own shots, so I recommend you do catch and shoot. It's gonna give you a boost off the catch. You want this badge. In my opinion, I think these are the best shooting badges. Moving on to playmaking badges, man. Only one playmaking badge. We didn't upgrade one playmaking stat, so it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I think I'm gonna do bailout. You want to pass out of a jump shot or a dunk or something like that. This badge will help you do that. But if you want quick first step, something else, go ahead and change it up. Now moving on to defensive badges. 20 defensive badges. It's gonna be 5 Hall of Fames. You want Hall of Fame brick walls build. You're probably gonna be setting screens with this build. If you're not, you're just gonna be spawning up. Don't throw the badge on, but I pretty much think you're gonna be setting screens. Now I also recommend Hall of Fame Intimidator. This badge is to make people miss shots. I also recommend you throw on Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser to help you rebound 10 times better. Now you got 2 Hall of Fame badges left. I personally gonna recommend you throw on Hall of Fame Rim Protector. You have a pretty high block. It's almost a 90, if not a 90. This badge will help you get more blocks. Pretty simple. Now you got 1 Hall of Fame badge left. I highly recommend you throw on post move lockdown again. When you're going up against any 7'3" post scorer, even like a 7-foot post scorer or 6'11", you're gonna need this badge to defend them. You're gonna thank me later when he throws post move lockdown badge on. This is what I recommend you do for defensive badges. But that's pretty much it, man. That's the top 3 best center builds as a patch 10 in NBA 2K20. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy this video, man, make sure you guys do it to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, man, huge thanks for 13K subs. We're 7K subs away from 20K subs. Also, if you are not aware, I told you guys I'm going to be bringing back this top 3 best build series for all positions. I already did the top 3 best point guard builds. Make sure you guys go check that out if you haven't already. We just did top 3 centers today. My next video, I'm going to probably be doing small forwards next. So make sure you guys turn on the notifications and subscribe so you don't miss that video. But that's pretty much it, man. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Until next time, clutch out.
I'm feeling your energy, and shorty, man, she really into me. I got lots of enemies, and they wanna act like they friends with me.